Okay, back at it again. Another gem on deck, ready to go to bat. This is from Varla, another Eagle 1. Confusing. It's not the Eagle 1 version 1 though. This is the Eagle 1 version 2. You should just call it the Eagle 2. Whatever. Eagle 1 version 2 from Varla, about to go down right now. Supposed to be a lot of big improvements on it. Let's see, because we love our Eagle 1 version 1. And I'll put them side by side so you can see the difference. But first, let's get it out of the box, see what it's all about. Ready to go. Here it is. All right, we've got the Eagle 1 version 2 loaded up here. It looks really good. Initial impressions, I see a lot of improvements that I could name off quickly. First thing is this stem adjuster or tension stem adjuster lock. It's, instead of it being clamps like it was on the version 1, it's a knob now, so you can unscrew it and keep it nice and tight all the time. You don't have to keep tightening the clamp nuts and doing that. This is easily done quickly in the field. Then there's a pin that you will stick into a hole here to lock the stem as well. So a good safety feature just in case this fails you. Hydraulic disc brakes, same as before, that's great. We've got suspension front and rear, same as before, that's great. And I'm curious to see how the power is, because I think there's a little bump in power. The version 1, let me go grab it real quick. All right, so here's the version 1. And you can see some design features that are very similar, but quite a few that are different. You can see first thing straight off is the wheel width, wheel and tire. So this is a skinnier wheel and tire on the V1 versus the V2, which has a fatter, more off-road oriented looking tire. That is going to definitely help with traversing soft terrain. And the cool thing about these, both of these, is that they're both dual motor. So that helps immensely in off-road. If you have a single motor one, forget it. Off-road is terrible. So dual motor, absolutely A1. But you can see the size difference. So the Eagle 1, a little bit smaller. I'm gonna say a little bit more fragile looking. But we've put it through some torture tests and it's done fine. So don't be afraid of the V1. It's definitely good. But one thing I've noticed over time is it is difficult to keep this head tight, the stem tight. It will loosen as you ride it. So that's another great reason to have this big adjuster. Now this stem on the V2 does look beefier. I'm gonna say that straight out. It's not a tube anymore. Now it's like a trapezoidal tubing or stem. I like the added touch there. We got some cool trim pieces there. Headlight is mounted up high on the V1. It's got two little headlights built into the baseboard down there, and they're useless at night, comparatively speaking. Just enough to see right what's directly in front of you, but nothing way out. This will definitely help. That's going to help you drive at night. What else? You can see overall it's a little bigger, just everywhere. Dimensionally, everything seems just a little bit beefier, a little bit stronger. I'm excited to see how this thing does. The specs on this are a little different. This one, we were able to do about 30, I think 32 miles per hour, 30 or 32. So I'm curious to see if there's a speed increase. I think it's going to be closer to 40 with the V2. That'll be exciting. I think 40 is a good speed for these. Definitely want to go pretty quick if you're going to be on the road with cars, especially. Sidewalks, you don't never need to go that fast, so you can dial it down. But for the road, if you're going to be using this to commute, definitely want to have some speed on tap. So 40 is the minimum, I think. 30 felt slow. I felt like I was impeding traffic. I felt like I was kind of in the way. So we'll hope for more speed on this one and see how that feels. But otherwise, let's get this thing charged up. We can see it's got some charge on it here. Oh, yeah, look at that. That's pretty cool, too. On this one, they've added these keys. So you got to have one of these keys. And then after you hit that power button, you touch here, and it turns it on. So good safety. So someone's not going to just ride off on it. Won't prevent them from picking it up and stealing it, though, so you still got to lock it down. But this is great to keep people from just getting on it, riding away. Like that one. That one has a key, but it's easily bypassed. This is not. So, pretty cool. Anyway, cool colored display. I like that. Battery indicator showing at 70%. We're going to fully charge this thing. We're going to take it for a rip. Here we are. Out on the Eagle 1 V2. And so a couple of immediate observations I'm going to make. First off, you can't see with the sunlight, which is pretty common. You can't see the dash. I have my phone set up so I can watch the speed, but right now it looks like the speed on the dash is showing 15 miles per hour, and the GPS is showing 14-ish. It's about right. I'd say probably pretty close. So close enough. The second thing I wanted to mention was this thumb throttle. I hate these. I hate them. After a little while, they really start to bug me. They don't feel comfortable. It would be way better with a trigger or a twist, I guess. But a trigger at the very least would be a lot better. So anyway, we're gonna go on a 10-mile ride here. Battery voltage when I started was at 85%. Can't even read it right now. I think it says 85. 84, 85%, yeah. So we'll see what it is when we get back, and that way we can compare. But otherwise, so far, so good. Let's get out on the road and see what this thing can do. Okay, so we got a nice stretch now. We're gonna test out top speed, straight out the hole. Put this thing all the way to 5. It's hard to read, I hope you can see it, but it's on 5 now. Speed 5, 84% battery, and the maximum speed is gonna be recorded on the GPS as well. So let's see what we can do. I'm just gonna go from full stop and just punch it, see what it does. Acceleration is decent. We are passing 30 miles an hour now. I can feel some imbalance in the wheels. That could use a little work. And GPS shows 39.5, so yeah, we did get right to 40. The speedometer on the dash says 40. On the dash and 36 on the GPS, so it's about 3 miles per hour off, I believe. I think this thing can go faster. It's probably speed limited, but either way, we'll see how she does on the full 10-mile ride. All right, so we've made it to our halfway point. You can see we got 5 miles showing on here. GPS showed a little less. I don't know if we were having any GPS problems or not, but it does show a little less. I noticed the speedo was about 2 to 3 miles per hour off. We did manage to touch 39.9, so we did manage to touch 40 miles an hour, but it was an absolute best case scenario, I had the wind to my back and everything. So I wish I had a little more. I'll be honest. Because in all the other situations, in all the other areas that I rode here, I was seeing like 35, 36 maybe. So realistically, 35 is the real speed on this scooter. 40 is kind of a dream speed, and I'm sure you could even go faster if you go downhill as well. I think the scooter needs a little more power, honestly, to keep up with that 40 plus mile an hour expectation. But that aside, a really nice scooter so far. So now we're going to turn around, ride the other 5 miles back. Battery dropped to 76% on the way here from 85%, so 9% drop there. We'll see what we get on the way back. That kind of makes sense. I expect 25 to 30 miles range on this thing, fully wide open. So let's get back and see what it does. Off-road path here, so you can see how it performs off-road. So this is loose gravel and some sand, and the suspension is a little tight, I think, if I'm being honest. Of course, I'm also not the heaviest rider. I'm 175 pounds. So if you're a heavier rider, this might be good. But off-road does really well. It feels very stable. I don't feel any instability or loss of traction or anything crazy like that. Let's get back on the road here. Now we're going the other way. We're going to see what the speed looks like. Again, this is full, the fastest setting. So as you can see, we don't have the wind helping us this time. 35. So I'd say 35 is a safe max speed that I would consider this to be rated at. I got it to the floor. We are going for it. This is as fast as we can go. The dash reads 39, so about 4 mile per hour discrepancy from GPS. Okay, we made it back. 10 miles according to the dash here, 7 miles according to here. So I think we were having some GPS discrepancies, maybe. But top speed I was able to achieve with the wind to my back, 40 miles per hour. 60% battery from 85%, so we dropped about 25% on that trip. That's pretty good. We could probably do 30 miles comfortably, full speed. This is a 35 to 40 mile an hour scooter. Keep that in mind. You're not doing 40 wherever you want. Sometimes you're going to be 35, sometimes you're going to be 40, or even maybe even faster if you've got hills. So keep that in mind. But overall, otherwise, really pleasant little scooter. Things I like: the suspension feels really beefy. I think it can handle a lot more. The brakes are amazing. The best brakes I've felt so far for any of these e-bikes and or scooters. Really feel good. Positive engagement. Stopping power is excellent. Ergonomics, definitely, it's definitely comfortable, but I feel like it's not big enough to feel comfortable on the road. So stay on the sidewalk, stay on the trails. I would not want to be whipping around on the main roads with this, unless it was a little beefier and a little bit faster. It needs to go at least 45 if you want to do that. So we'll have to see how it is at night. The screen, though, during the day, a little hard to read. I'm going to say it. But at night, it should be beautiful, and it should work just fine. This throttle, I say, Varla, if you're listening, consider something different. Let's do a trigger or a twist. Something else is going to be probably better. Maybe not twist, because you got a lot of stability you need in this, but a trigger would be good instead of that thumb. I love the stem lock. You can see it really creates a nice solid stem, so you're not shaking around, getting loose or anything. And and the tires need to be balanced, so keep that in mind. I'm going to balance mine and take it out again and see how it feels, but the vibration was annoying over 30 miles an hour the whole time. Besides that, pretty good scooter. Is it better than V1? Yeah, a little bit. Could be a lot better, though, if they addressed those small issues. So either way, if you're considering one, great company. Price point's definitely not bad on these. You're not going to spend $2,000-$3,000 like you will on some of the big bad boys, but you're still going to get a lot of those. You're going to get the good features. You're going to get the dual motors. You're going to get all that stuff. So great company to deal with, though. I've always had fantastic support with them, and they've always stayed behind their product. So keep that in mind when you're buying. You might find one that's cheaper, but you're not going to get the support. Either way, hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I will see you in the next one.